Hi everybody, so I'm recording for you how we are going to do this lab. It is our shadow lab. First thing is you do have to be outside. You need to be able to get some shadows going, and the directions are on the lab that you have in your classwork in your Google Classroom. You don't need to print it. You can type everything right into your document, but we do need to go outside to collect the data. So what you need to do is you need to either have a ruler or a meter stick. I have a meter stick. Okay, I know you guys had a ruler put into your bag of tricks, but I'm going to be using my meter stick. And you also had a piece of sidewalk chalk put in your bag of tricks. Sidewalk chalk, sidewalk chalk. Okay, so how is it that we measure a shadow of something? So there's two different data points we need to collect. It says here on our sheet, and I'm going to flip really quickly so you guys can see what you're looking at. Okay, so what you need to look at here is, really quickly. Okay, what you want to look at is, okay, so you need to measure the object's true height and the shadow's height. All right, so these are the things we want to get first. Whew. Okay, so what would that be? So the object's true height. So I've got a couple of things right here for you to measure. So what do we have? We've got a cup. Got glue. We've got pump soap. We've got a jug. And then another thing that I thought would be interesting to measure would even just be measuring this meter stick and to see its shadow. So we know a meter stick is literally 100 centimeters high. So that one we don't even have to measure how tall it is because we know it's 100 centimeters tall. So that one's easy enough. We don't have to measure its true height. So we already have that one in our thing. But what we are gonna measure is see where its shadow is. So we know it's 100 centimeters tall because that is how tall it is. But the key then is to then mark where the shadow ends. So I am going to rest the phone down here for a second, right here, so you guys can actually see what's happening here. Hopefully it won't fall. Then I'm gonna mark the shadow. The reason we do that is because you guys might be alone in this whole endeavor, just like I am. So you need to know where the shadow is, right? So the shadow is right there. So what I'm gonna do now, and I have to mark where the shadow starts, which is right at the end here. Okay. So now what we see is we see the distance between where the ruler was on the ground, the meter stick was on the ground, and the shadow it created. And now I measure that distance to see how long the shadow really was. So now I'm going to take my meter stick, and I'm going to measure. Look at that. It wasn't even. If I measure, look, it's not even a full meter. Look at that. It was 90. So for this time of day, my meter stick only measures 93.5 centimeters. 93.5 centimeters. That's kind of crazy. I would not have gotten that. So instead, where I have in my data table, I have it written down where it says the true height is 100 centimeters. The object's shadow length needs to be changed. So I got to grab my pencil. Grab my pencil. A pen. And I am going to change it to say 93.5 centimeters. That's going to actually change that. So there's going to be 100 All right, so now we have a couple of other objects to measure, and hopefully these will be a little easier to measure. Okay, so again, if you see, we've got a cup right here. So I'm gonna measure. First thing I'll do is I'm gonna put a little line right here to show where I'm starting to measure my starting point. And then this would be my end point, because that's how tall my shadow is for the cup. Okay, and then I'll grab my meter stick. So I go grab my meter stick. And I know that now my cup is, it's like my cup is 20.5 tall. So the cup is actually its true height. So I'm gonna put the true height is 20, I'm just writing this here so I don't forget, 20.5 centimeters. Okay, but if I move it away, what is its shadow height? Oh, and the door is not open. Here, we'll turn it backwards. So its shadow's height is, it's not even 20. Look at that. Its shadow's height is 19.5. So 20.5. Okay. So here I would put my cup. The true height, 20.5. 19.5. Now, I should write down the time of day. So I'm gonna go look at my clock. Everybody ready to go inside? We've been inside. Dun, dun, dun. The time of day is 1:10. And so that's one of the things that it did say, if you noticed. It said you don't want the shadows to be directly overhead. And so if you notice, we're getting a short shadow because it is almost, it's so close to noon. So we don't really want to do this so close to noon. So this is not a good time of day to do it. So because it is 1:10, we're getting short shadows. So we don't want, this is a bad time to do it. Okay, so I'll do it for another one. So I'm gonna put this here so you can watch me work. Put this guy out of the way. All right. You can watch me work on the glue guy. So I've got the glue. Okay. It's funny, my arm is getting in the way of the shadow. So the height of the glue is 16. The glue is 16 centimeters. So the glue is 16 centimeters tall. And its shadow starts right here. And then its shadow ends right there. And its shadow is only 13 centimeters. So its shadow is 13. So then I go back and I record it. Okay? And so it's just as easy as that. That's what we're doing. So come back here and I write glue. Its true height was 16 centimeters. And its shadow height was 13 centimeters. Again, true height, 16. Shadow height, 13. True height, 20. Shadow height, 19.5. Okay, and that is what we're doing. So we're gonna be doing that every class day. You have to take the same objects and you're gonna be measuring them outside and finding the object's true height, the shadow height, and then finding the ratio between the two, okay? So you wanna make sure you do that, and also do yours. So you wanna do your true height versus your shadow height on every class day. Not every day, just every class day for this week and next week. And also today, make sure to watch the video that I have posted in the classroom for you. See you later.